Hey, good day, everyone. This will be a recovery video log for June 24th, 2025. It was a Tuesday. It was our day off from work, and it was a crazy day, front to back. So I'm going to go over all the goals for the day first, and then what did get done, what didn't get done. So, brush teeth, morning video log, wake up at 8, Roman at 8:30, watch the movie Twilight Eclipse, get a Vampire Diaries episode in. Let me check this one off. Upload video logs, label my video logs, harvest beans, call my pharmacy for my prescription, clean up the apartment. I did do that one too. Clean up Roman's room, vacuum the office, vacuum the bedroom, do 2 loads of laundry, take my dishes downstairs, take the garbage bins to the curb, and take out the apartment trash. Everything got done except for the morning video log, the Vampire Diaries episode, and cleaning up Roman's room. So literally, I think it was 15 goals done, and it was a crazy day. I just wrote the description for the video log for today. And it was nuts. Like, it literally took like 10 minutes to write. So we woke up and played some video games while I was waiting for Roman to get here. And then once he got here, we had to like have him eat some yogurt. He was playing with his toys, and he came and we were like playing video games together. He was watching me play video games. And then I let him get on the computer, and I took a nap on my couch. I like passed out. I was so tired. I was like, but it was really, really nice. And he was chilling. He was just like, he would like wake me up and be like, "Dad, look at this." I'm like, "Dude, crazy." And I was like there, right? It was really nice. And then after I ended up waking up, Ava and I took him out to Stewarts for lunch. It was really fun. He was being a bit of a pill. Like, he was upset about something he might have to do later. And he just kept hitting us with the, "But what if this? But what if this? But what if this?" And we're like, "Dude, it hasn't even happened. Like, you're crashing out over something that hasn't occurred yet. Like, I don't know what you're so upset about." And then once we got home, Roman cooled off for a bit. And then I had him help me harvest my green beans in the garden. And so I showed him, like, you gotta hold the stem and, like, pull the bean off. And, like, had him do that, and I was just, like, holding the thing. And then, yeah, it was really, really fun and really interesting. We got, like, a decent, like, handful of beans, so that was pretty cool. And then after that, Ava went and took Roman to the in-laws' house, his cousins. And I stayed home and did all my house chores. So I cleaned up the apartment. I took out the apartment trash. I vacuumed the office and the bedroom. Finished up the loads of laundry. And then I labeled my video logs, and then I called my pharmacy about my prescription. They were like, "Yeah, half an hour." And so I showed up like 40 minutes later. It still wasn't ready. They had to like do the final count or whatever. But I ended up getting that, and then yeah, did all my house stuff. Ended up talking to my mom for a little while. I'm so ADHD without my medicine that I was just like, "Oh yeah, Mom, hey, I'm in. Oh, you're cleaning. Oh, that's so cool." And we talked for like 15 minutes, and I was like, "What did I come down here to do?" And I was like, I was leaving, bro. Like, I was literally leaving. What am I doing here? And it was really, really funny. But yeah, so once I went and got my prescription, came back, and then I gave Skip's a good brush. He's got like cat dandruff, and it's like lock in. And then I uploaded the rest of my video logs. I think I'm good until the 15th of July, which is insane. Insane to me. Yeah, 15th of July, dude. 15th of July. The one that just uploaded today is 5/28. And I'm good until 6/17, so I'm good for almost like 3 weeks. What? That's crazy. That's literally 20 days. Crazy. But I am still like gonna get caught up because I feel like once I'm done editing video logs and like uploading them, I can kind of get to the point where I'm able to make like real content, and that's like my video usage for the whatever. And then yeah, so uploaded the rest of those, and played some Crab Champions. Lost. I was pissed. Dude, I was so mad. And then played some other games, and then Ava called me and was like, "Hey, come meet us at the plaza." So I went and met them at the plaza. We met up with our friend Lorelai, got some ice cream, and then we did some like browsing, shopping, and hanging out or whatever. And then came back home. Ava went back to the cousins with Roman, and then I set up the VR and was just playing some VR with Corey. And then they got back because Roman's other parents were coming to pick him up, so we stayed for that. And then after he got picked up, I went over to my neighbor's house and hung out and had a couple beers with them. And we were just talking about the state of the world, and they're so anti-authoritarian and like they're like very conservative people, and they were like heavily anti-authoritarian. So it's like it's like having a conversation with a real Republican, not like what the Republican Party has been deduced to. It's like with a real Republicans. It's so nice. And then came back home. I was a little drunk, so I played some VR till I was like cooling off or whatever. And then came upstairs. Ava and Summer were still chatting, so I played some more. I got Repo, REPO. It was a very interesting game. It was alright. I was like, I kind of enjoyed it, honestly. It might be more fun with friends, but playing solo is very interesting. It's hard, dude. It's a hard game. And then, yeah, went ahead and played some of that while I was waiting for them, and then she went to go drop off Summer, and then came back and we watched Twilight Eclipse, which was actually a decent movie. I was telling Corey, I was like, honestly, dude, once you were like 60% in the movie, probably like an hour, 10 hour and 15 minutes, from that point to the like end fight scene was ass, like really bad, terrible like emotional awareness, terrible writing, a really bad portion of the movie. The rest of it was actually pretty good. Like I thoroughly enjoyed the movie except for like 60% away mark up to the fight scene. Before the 60%, after the fight scene, all really good. Everything in between there, I was just like, dude, this is so stupid. What are we thinking? Like, we're not thinking with our brains. But I understand there's like a plot they have to follow or whatever, right? But watching it, I was just like, what is going on, dude? But yeah, so we finished that, and it was already like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was like, I need to shower, dude. Like I shower really bad. So I went ahead and took a shower, and then I stayed up a little later till like 5 to let my hair set in my hat, so I could like, oh gosh. I made a mental note to myself that I wasn't gonna record a video log with the fan on. Might have cooked. Might be cooked. Oh well. Hopefully it didn't pick up too much. But yeah, so where was I? Yeah, the movie 60% was like really good. Like 60% to fight scene, very bad. Before and after that, really good. And so I showered and had my hair set, and I was like playing Nine Kings and just chilling. And earlier in the day, while I was on the couch sleeping next to Roman, this ties into my daily thought, some guy responded. I'm just going to read the comment because I can. It's my YouTube channel. I like responding to these things. 527. He said, I'll literally just read his thing because I didn't really know how to respond to this. He wrote, genuine question, how do you reconcile the belief that reducing tax cuts to the rich won't help, parentheses true, with your support of capitalism? Also, social issues are political issues. The world that the social structure exists in is dictated by the political landscape and who is in power. Not trying to be annoying. In fact, I was surprised with how remarkably not weird you are. I'm just earnestly curious what the rationale is. And so I won't read my whole response, but reconcile was not used correctly in this question. How do I reconcile the belief that I'm assuming how did I get to the belief that reducing tax cuts to the rich won't help with my support of capitalism? And what I think he was asking is how do I get to the idea that raising taxes on the rich is going to be good? Like, what is my thought there? So that's kind of how I responded, but I was just like, I don't really know what this means. Like, the words you're using don't make a coherent thought to me. And then the second part where he goes, also, social issues are political issues. My daily thought is based on that, so I'll just respond to that. And I had a good metaphor that I thought of later in the difference between social issues and political issues are how people behave versus policy, right? Like political policy, policing, that's political. When you think about like a policy issue, that is like taxes. I think I used examples in this. Political issue is like, gosh, it's not loading. That sucks so much. Not loading. Oh, I can edit it. Good. Like social issues are not political issues. Political issues are about policy, budgets, finer tunings of law, passing bills, amending old legislation for the times, regulating new industries. Like that's what policy is for. And social issues are like how people treat each other, you know? And so it's this weird thing where my metaphor for it is like politically, what you say, you constitutionally can't be punished by the government for what you say. Socially is completely different. So in America, if someone was to be like, I'm going to restart the Nazi movement and believe in white power and white supremacy and I'm going to go do that, the government can't shut that down because you're allowed to say what you think. If people outside of the government, regular people, farmers, teachers, everyone, if they were to get together and put down that movement and be like, no, like you are not allowed to congregate, that's not okay, our society won't have that. That's the social issue versus the political issue. The policy can't dictate how people think and act and speak. The social structure, the society, can go, you're not a part of this. Like, we are not represented by you, and you will not be behaving this way with us here. Like, so it's socially enforced. So to say social issues and political issues are the same is absolutely incorrect. And I think Ava and I kind of agreed that it was a little rude how I said it, in the sense of I was literally just like, that's just wrong. Like, it's blatantly incorrect. You can look up the difference. And I was like, I even said, like, the fact that you are insisting that social issues and political issues are the same is proof of how far gone the American political system is. Because they're not the same. Social structure, social creatures are going to behave the way they want to behave, regardless of what the policy is. If we had a culture of cannibalism, you could make cannibalism illegal. Okay, I have a different example. If you had a culture of alcoholism and the policy is prohibition of alcohol, people are still going to drink. Culturally, socially, still going to drink. So the social issue is we are all alcoholics. And the political issue is alcohol is illegal. So you end up with that. That is a perfect example. Oh my God, that is a perfect example. I don't know where I was getting cannibalism. That prohibition is a perfect example. Socially, people drink, and it's not enforced socially. We all drink together. Politically, policing says don't drink. Alcohol, bad, illegal, right? So social issue versus political issue, completely different things. And I've been talking about it a lot. There are no social issues in America that are emotionally driving enough that statistically matter. Like, when you look at the actual stats of America as a whole, it doesn't matter. Like, most social issues aren't actually affecting daily lives of Americans. The things that are: mental health crisis, cost of living crisis, lack of accountability for leadership, like media suppression, media control, like the algorithm, like propagating beliefs to extreme levels where it's not necessarily what they actually believe. Like, those things affect daily people all the time. Like, daily average Americans, daily, multiple times a day, are affected by those 5 things. When you think of gay or trans people, that's a social issue. It doesn't actually matter. When you think of, I always say abortions, that's a social issue. It's what you think. It's your opinion. It doesn't actually matter. There's no reason for us to be like, hey, we actually aren't going to do a surgery. If it's necessary, it needs to occur, dude. Come on. The human reproductive system is inhospitable. Of course there's going to be complications. Of course some are going to be terminated to keep the host alive. We have to do that. That's normal. We would do it to other animals. We wouldn't do it to humans for some reason. And we're basing it in theology, and there's supposed to be separation of church and state. Whatever. Social issues are not political issues. And anyone who runs on social issues is trying to garner your emotional side. And someone who runs on political issues, the economy, let's make the economy better. This law is really outdated. It doesn't apply anymore. Let's regulate the tech companies. Let's regulate AI. Let's do these things that are going to actually benefit your daily life, everyone as a whole. That's a good politician. What people are running on nowadays is completely blown out of the water. Makes no damn sense. So, yeah, that was my daily thought. And I did specify, like, social issues and political issues work in tandem, but they're not responsible for each other. So prohibition, when it was enacted, wasn't responsible for drinking culture. And drinking culture obviously wasn't responsible for prohibition coming in. It was a policy versus social issue. They clashed, right? And it was a very weird time in human history where people were just socially allowed to break the law constantly and would just do it normally, like it was normal to do that, right? And you hear stories, police officers going to speakeasies to drink after work. They know they're there. But it's illegal. So it's this weird thing where it's just like, what were we thinking when you institute policy that goes against the social structure? Like, this is socially normal. Societal reinforcement is going to allow this behavior to propagate. Why would we institute policy to go against it? Just doesn't make any sense. So it's like, when you meet a gay or trans person in the streets, you're going to treat them like everyone else. They're a regular person. So socially, they're just like us. But policy-wise, we want to change this and make it different and not give them the ability to marry and this and this and this and this. And it's just like, what is the point of policing what is socially allowed? Like, what is the point in that? And so it's like, obviously some of them are like, some of the policies that go against social nature are meant to protect, like, maturity and innocence. So like the age of consent, right? Socially in other places in the world, there are very loose laws, or if there are laws, they're very loosely enforced. America is much different. Much different. So what you're allowed socially varies on culture and family. What you're allowed to do policy is like a blanket term, right? And so I feel like at that point the policy is kind of a baseline for what people generally believe to be a good point in society for people to be safe in those ventures, you know? And so it's this, that's just another point of social issue versus policy issue. Politically, having age of consent at 16 is a really good baseline, you know? Honestly, politically, I would say age of drinking, 18, but it has to be more strictly enforced and, like, you can't drive, dude. Like, just don't drive drunk. Like, you will die, right? And so it's like, if you could get the culture to shift into safety and precaution, you could lower the drinking age, right? Like, I don't know I should research the statistics on drunk driving in European countries where the age of drinking is lower. But in America, driving is so prevalent. Like, we don't have places where you can just walk. Like, it isn't like that. Like, you have to drive. So for us to have an age 21 drinking makes more sense because we're a driving country. So when you have to go somewhere and drive there and then get intoxicated and get back, 21, dude. Like, you have to know and be mature and responsible enough to understand the consequences of your actions. You can't have a 15-year-old doing that. You can't have a 17-year-old doing that. I couldn't do that today. Like, that's horrifying. It's not safe. Like, I remember someone just last night asked me, like, oh, how drunk are you right now? I was like, I'm just like a 4 out of 10. He goes, could you drive? And I was like, could I drive? Yes. Would I drive? Hell no. Like, I would not get behind the wheel right now. I would sit in my car for about an hour on TikTok and then drive. Like, once I'm good, you know? But, I thought that was pertaining to it. But, it's just that same thing of social issue versus political issue. We behave this way no matter what the policy is. Like, it's gonna happen. You can sit there and go, no gays, no trans, no this, no that, 2 genders. People are gonna identify as whatever they want, socially. And there are gonna be people like me who respect that. Because if I were in their position, I would want me to respect it just the way I always have. So it's like, when I sit there and go respecting my fellow man, it's, I'm going to socially treat them the way I would want to be treated in their position. And that to me is just a general form of respect. And even if I don't respect you at all as a person, I'm still going to give you, if I was in your situation, how would I want me to treat you? How would I want me to treat me? And so it's like when I sit here and people are like, oh, you're going to like use their pronouns, you're going to use their name, you're going to use their whatever. It's like, it's what I would want me to do if I were them. Like, that's just empathy, dude. Like, that's just respect. And it's like, it's a version of respect that people don't really cling on to nowadays, but it's so necessary. And I feel like having a leader who actually respects people like that is going to be really beneficial in the future. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And, yeah, it was a pretty solid Tuesday, dude. I did 15 goals is crazy. So, yeah. I'll see you all tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful night. Peace.